Hi, now we're on to part 2 of our snow and ice dyeing, and this is kind of crucial because what we do now is going to really affect the end result of our wool. So if camera guy can pan down here, you can see there's some serious clumps of dye. Now that's probably black, I'm not exactly positive, and that's fine with me. And you can also see there's little bits of dye that have also been knocked on the pan and all that kind of stuff. You got to be a little bit careful. So I sort of want to have the dot effect that this black is going to create, but there's one place that's really big. So I'm just going to use this water to kind of dissipate it a little bit. And the other thing I'm going to do is get a little utensil. Let's see. Why do I never have what I want when I need it? A little toothpick or anything will work, and that's what I'm looking for right now. There's a screw nail. All I want to do is kind of move some of this away. And I don't usually tinker this much, but I just really don't want that spot to be so black. And I might touch it here and there so it's not always located in the one spot. So you can definitely do that. Here's a little area where, camera guy, can you see that? The yellow didn't get dissolved, and I'll just squirt it so that it actually gets dissolved, so that it's not just floating on top and going in my oven, and when the fan goes on, floating through my stove. So that's the other thing I want you to do, is just go along and wet any dye that's on the edge of your pan, please. And I wasn't able to say that in the article, and this is why this is so important, this class. Okay? So I'm really not going to bother with it other than that too much. What I do next is pick this up very carefully, put it in this pan. That's what gets put in the oven. Now, this wool is not as wet as you might imagine because look at all the snow melt that came in here. We're going to reuse this too. So take this out, have some newspapers to put it on, pour this into a jar because we are going to use it later to make another piece of wool because it's perfectly great dye. Once this comes out of the oven, there will still be dye that is not attached to this in any way because it'll be floating on the surface. Camera guy, can you get down and just show people the profile? The black especially is raised up. That is never gonna take. So we have to rinse it out. So you want to be prepared, unlike our other dye methods, to have to do some serious rinsing with Synthropol to get rid of this unattached dye particles. And don't worry about it, it doesn't affect the wool in any way, but this way I'm going to get my dots that I want to have achieved. So into the oven at 350, I think I said, for 30 minutes, and that's what we'll be doing. So I'll take a photo of this wool later so you can see it. I hope you're enjoying your ice and snow dyeing. Have a great night.